Mikey, could you just go ahead and talk to us today, looking at the available players versus the performance that your team gave you today? How happy are you with this result?
Yeah, I think the guys, we challenged the guys to show that we're a big squad. Maybe not in numbers right now, availability-wise, but in spirit and quality. And the squad got bigger tonight because you got two guys, draft picks, starting at center back. One of them, Ian, who I think really grew up today because he wasn't just next to a veteran guy who he could lean on. He was actually the guy who probably had the most experience, right? And then you got Manu, who showed that he's got high potential at the center back position. Oscar bouncing back off of a tough performance last game, and for me having probably his best performance of the year so far. And I think no excuse mentality from the group, which I absolutely love. We go down a goal, either the group could easily fall and say, okay, everything is going against us, and we just kept pushing. And I know it's a 1-1 tie, but for me it feels like a win because I think it's a dominant performance, especially the second half on top of it.
And then can you just walk us through, in terms of your experience now going to the latter half of this season MLS? You've had a couple of VAR situations. Just your interpretation of VAR to this point in MLS?
Yeah, I prefer not to comment on that just because I think the referees are doing their best. Yeah, there's sometimes it feels like there's some inconsistencies in what happened earlier in the year and then what's happening now. But I really do think that they're doing their best and the logic behind what they call, and it is what it is.
Mikey, another great performance from Sisniega. I'm curious, is the start tonight for him due to CJ still not being 100%, or does this now raise a question of who the starting goalkeeper will be moving forward?
No, I mean, first and foremost, we're a culture of competition, right? So we've always said one of our values is to embrace competition. The situation opened up for Pablo because CJ broke his nose and wasn't able to travel. And then now Pablo's on a nice little run of form. So it's about being a great teammate and embracing competition. And CJ understands these situations, and it keeps things competitive. But at the end of the day, it's about who's performing in training, who's performing in the games. I know that CJ takes this as a competitor, meaning he's going to raise his level now, which is only good for the team. But he also takes it as a great teammate. He's happy to see Pablo doing well, and that's kind of the culture that we have, and I think he exemplifies that really well.
Tom, do you have a question? Go ahead.
What does Manu bring to the center back position, and is that where you envision him spending a lot of time?
Yeah, so Manu has been a midfielder most of his life, but he's got a good frame. He's fast, and he's got a good technical ability. So I think what he brings is he brings the ability to carry the ball, to make really brave line-breaking passes, but then he has the physical attributes to help us defend the space in behind in transition. And he's still learning the principles a lot, but I think his potential as a center back is really high.
Tonight, only one goal, and on Wednesday, no goals for your club. What's missing on that final third right now that's just kind of not clicking to scoring goals?
Well, let's not take it for granted how hard it is to score goals in this sport. And so, more than saying like what's not happening, I think it's about giving the guys a ton of credit of how many goals they've scored this season. We've had very few low-scoring games. And but at the end of the day, the margins are razor thin, And what I've always said is we have the attacking mentality. These guys come out to score goals, to attack the game. But sometimes the rhythm of the game doesn't allow you to create as big a chances as you want. But I have no doubt that at some point the floodgates will open up again, and the goals will come in big quantities again.
I just wanted to ask about that. A very young back line. What does it say about them and the development for them to kind of carry you through that second half and through the result?
Yeah, it shows that we're a club that believes in young players, believes in next player up mentality, no excuses. believes in our environment of a growth mindset environment, a development environment. So, you know, these guys have been training. Manu's a great example. He's been training and not playing. But he's had a growth mindset, and the coaches have done such a great job working with him collectively, individually, to get him ready. So what I think it shows is that these guys are competitors, and they got quality, and that they took a huge step in their maturity in their games today.
Any other English questions before we move on to Spanish? Any Spanish questions?
Profe, en el tema de jugadores, ¿va a añadir más para lo que se viene? ¿Tiene la oportunidad de hacerlo? ¿Se va a reforzar el equipo todavía? Después
Sí.
de lo que vimos en la banca, que no hubo solo 6 jugadores, ¿no? Para...
Sí. Sí, la ventana está abierta, entonces seguro que va a llegar jugadores. Estamos trabajando en eso en este momento, pero como siempre lo estamos haciendo con una intención, un proceso, y no queremos ser un club que toma decisiones al nivel de emoción y empezar a hacer cualquier cosa. Queremos siempre tener intención porque queremos ganar ahora, pero también queremos formar un grupo, un plantel que nos va a dar para mucho tiempo, para sostener, ¿no? Entonces yo sé que Mark y Tyler y todos los scouts están trabajando día y noche y estamos preparando algo, pero en estas cosas uno nunca sabe cuándo y quién puede caer, pero estamos trabajando en eso.
Mike, hace poquito lo comentabas en inglés, perdón. Mike Heriberto Muñoz del periódico Frontera, hace poquito lo comentabas en inglés. ¿Sientes que cambian mucho los rivales cuando vienen aquí a visitarte? ¿Y cómo te hace sentir eso como entrenador? Porque se ve que la liga está estudiando y encontrando
Sí,
formas.
yo creo que lo he hablado con los analistas que tenemos, que su trabajo es muy difícil, porque analizas bien el rival, cómo juegan, después vienen acá y hacen otra cosa. Y yo creo que nosotros tenemos una identidad, un estilo de juego bastante único, o un poquito diferente, y los chicos han mostrado un gran nivel dentro de ese estilo de juego. Entonces creo que también es un poquito sentido común para empezar a pensar, ok, el rival puede hacer esto toda la temporada, pero contra nosotros puede cambiar algo para tratar de manejar una estrategia un poquito único también. Y no me hace sentir de ninguna manera, la verdad. Obviamente todo esto es divertido. Yo creo que es un gran señal de respeto a los jugadores y el trabajo que han hecho dentro de la cancha.
Una más acá, profe, nos podría hablar y las cualidades que ven Pablo Sisniega, más allá de la competencia que tiene con CJ, se está ganando la oportunidad, ¿no?, de partido a partido.
Sí, nosotros tenemos uno de los valores que tenemos es esta idea de abrazar la competencia, de querer competencia, y queremos ser gran compañeros también. Entonces estos dos chicos más Jacob han formado un grupo de arqueros que se empuja todos los días. Pablo está listo porque Pablo tiene talento, pero también porque CJ le ha empujado todos los días. Y CJ en algún momento va a estar listo porque Pablo hace esto. Y esto es un círculo de desarrollo donde se empuja dentro de nuestro entorno. Y bueno, Pablo trae madurez, calma, y he mostrado que tiene la habilidad de tener una reacción y salvar un tiro fuerte al arco que creo que es gran arquero igual que CJ.
Hola Pablo, de Villa para el diario AS. ¿Cómo te sientes en estos últimos partidos, mostrándote ahí ante la ausencia de CJ, pero también demostrando que tienes para ser titular?
Sí, la verdad que, como te dije, muy contento de tener la oportunidad de jugar. Al final, todos los que estamos en el club lo que queremos es jugar y tener minutos. Entonces, pues contento de tener esta continuidad que me ha dado Mikey, ¿no? Obviamente CJ es un gran portero, ha hecho una gran temporada, entonces estamos ahí compitiendo por el puesto, pero bueno, como te digo, yo siempre que pueda jugar voy a hacerlo a lo mejor de mis capacidades y tratar de seguir peleando, ¿no?, para estar ahí en la portería.
¿Alguna otra pregunta?
Hola, Pablo Heriberto Muñoz del periódico Frontera. ¿Cómo se vive la competencia semana a semana? ¿Cómo es siempre dicen que los porteros a veces parecen un equipo aparte, ¿no? Tienen como sus entrenamientos en su espacio. ¿Cómo se vive las semanas aquí en SanDiego.FC y cuál es la mentalidad que tuviste cuando te llegó la oportunidad de esperar?
La verdad que el grupo de porteros que tenemos es un grupo súper sano, entonces obviamente hay mucha competencia interna, pero a la vez hay mucho apoyo. Entonces cuando juega CJ o si le tocara a Jacob, tanto, o sea, los otros que no están jugando siempre lo apoyamos, y yo ahorita que me ha tocado jugar a mí, CJ me ha estado apoyando. Entonces la verdad que es una competencia, como te digo, muy intensa, pero también muy sana. Entonces creo que es lo que nos va a ayudar a que cuando le toque al que sea, lo haga de la mejor manera posible.
¿Otra pregunta?
Te preguntaba el otro día el tema de los arqueros mexicanos, pero ¿qué se siente representar a México en esta liga, en la Major League Soccer? Ha habido algunos grandes porteros y de ahí forjando tu camino.
Sí, para mí, como portero mexicano es muy especial. Al final siempre quiero representar a mi país de la mejor manera. Entonces, como te dije el otro día, yo te estoy aquí tratando de hacer mi camino, tratando de hacerlo todo lo mejor posible, pero bueno, sí es un gran orgullo representar a México, ¿no?, en la MLS.
Pablo, quería preguntarte qué te pareció Frontera hoy anoche y en general la afición, la atmósfera y qué mensajes te gustaría darles.
No, súper agradecido con la afición. La verdad que tenemos una afición que nunca se rinde, que siempre nos está alentando, entonces siempre es muy especial jugar en este estadio. Se nota que pesa jugar en casa, le cuesta mucho a los rivales, entonces, como te digo, muy muy especial jugar aquí enfrente de nuestra gente. Entonces súper agradecido con la afición que no nos dejó alentar todo el partido.
Questions first.
Good evening, Pablo. Could you just go ahead and walk us through just kind of how you're feeling with the start time that you've been having with the team and the development of your style along with this particular play style with the asks of a goalkeeper?
Yeah, obviously I'm very happy to be getting my first minutes of the season. These last 3 games have been special for me. I've been working very hard for the last 6 months, so to get a chance to show you guys the work that I've been putting in is obviously important for me. And the play style we have is very particular, so it's been a growing process for me. I've had to adapt. I've had to do things that at the beginning I was very uncomfortable with, but like Mikey says, I mean, the team has a personality, and you have to fit into that personality if you want to play. So I'm just trying to do my best to do what the team needs.
And then once again, you're behind a very young back line. And just what is it like communicating with these players who are very young but still playing up until the most quality that they are?
Yeah, no, I was incredibly proud of the guys today. I mean, like you said, we had an extremely inexperienced and young back line, and I think that all 4 of them put an incredible performance. They did a really good job keeping me from doing too much work, and I'm just really proud of the guys.
More English questions?
I saw at the end of the game you kind of brought everybody in, especially talked to Manu Dua there. What was the message to your back line at the end of the game?
Yeah, I just told them I'm super proud of them. All of us knew that it was going to be an experienced back line, and it's against the second best team in the West. I mean, they're a really good team, Vancouver. So it was going to be a big challenge for them. I think that all 4 of them really stepped up. They all took responsibility. So like I said, I just wanted to bring all of them in and recognize their effort and just congratulate them because I was very proud of how they performed tonight.
Any more English questions? Spanish questions?
Tony Sanchez, SanDiego.Futbol. Could you just go ahead and talk to me through a game where you were part of a back line where you were the oldest and most experienced in that very young back line, and then walk me through the goal as well?
Yeah, the back line was young this time, but we all had experience, and we're midway through the season, so I've been learning information from all the guys on the back line, people like Chris and Patty and even Franco and the goalies behind me. So I might have had more experience, but it's coming from guys throughout the whole culture. And then the goal was phenomenal. We practiced a lot of set pieces, and it came out to Bombino and trying to just be in a good position, and it fell to my feet out of luck. And after that it was a bit of a blur, but super nice to do it with this club, and just so happy to be in the moment with everyone there.
And then what's it been like, obviously, like you mentioned, learning from your teammates as well, but what is it in training, that extra gear that you're hitting to make sure that you're prepared for these moments, either substitute or now starting?
Could you repeat it one more time?
Could you just walk me through just the thing that it takes to make sure that you're ready to go and for these moments in training as well?
Yeah, it's just the mindset, right? You approach training 100% almost like it's a game. We want to train at our very best, and when you first come here, you want to soak up all that information and just learn and then apply that to the game. And I think that just takes a mindset and mental focus to do that. And having an open mindset with your teammates, right? Knowing that they might know more, and being willing to put my humility aside and say, okay, I can learn from them.
Tom?
Yes, Ian.
how much time have you spent with Manu at center back pairing? And how are you guys able to sort of shorten your learning curve tonight against a good team?
Yeah, I spent a good amount of time with him in training, so we know each other's habits pretty well. But I think we're just two guys who play the game, and we relied on our instincts and the philosophy of the club, and that's what got us through the match. You know, just relying on the brilliant basics and doing those things well.
Hi, how do you take the responsibility being so young and when you know that it's your opportunity now, and when you look at the mirror, what do you say to yourself, to your teammates being so young?
Yeah, it's just about stepping up in the moment, you know. No matter how young you are, you still want to rise to that occasion. And it's a great opportunity, and you take that in itself, but it's just about rising up like to the level of that and having confidence in your training and the guys around you, and just bringing that up to your level of confidence.
Does it play a role at all, or what comes to mind when you see on the roster that there's only 4 available field players to come off from the bench?
No, I think it was a different way of like any game we faced, but I still looked at all the players on the roster and saw such great strength and such great determination to go out and win this match. And I knew that every guy in there, we had the heart and the spirit, and that's all that I saw. I didn't see the number of players, I just saw the look on their faces that we were going out there to do a job.
And how does it feel to score a goal in the MLS, and for whom is this goal?
For whom is the goal?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I want to thank God for that, and just he's been pushing me through some great things. But this was the first match that my family was able to come to, so it goes out to them. But it's just so nice to score it for this great club that's given me a great opportunity and that's embraced me as part of their family. So it was just great to do that. And then scoring a goal is the best feeling in the world. So.
Thank you, Ian.